Hello everyone, this is Derek from Corax Training, and today I'm going to do a little bit different video. I'm going to talk about my 5 favorite handguns. So jumping right into number 5, that actually starts with the CZ Tactical Sport, the original CZ Tactical Sport here. Why is this on the list? Why is it number 5? This was actually the first handgun I ever bought specifically for competition use. So I shot USPSA for a couple of months with, a Glock, like most people start out with, because it's what I had. And when I got serious about the sport, I went ahead and bought this. Now, mind you, that was over 10 years ago, so the sport's come a long way since then. But this original CZ Tactical Sport was a great option in the limited division. So that was before carry optics, before PCC, before all of these new divisions that are dominating the competition scene. Limited used to be the most popular division. And so this is actually in .40 caliber. Yeah, I know. You can stop laughing. But again, back then, .40 was the way to go in limited to get major power factor. And so this is .40 caliber CZ Tac Sport. I probably could have sold it years ago, but it has meaning for me because it really was my entry into serious competition. So for that reason alone, I will probably never get rid of it. It's an awesome gun. Shoots great, the trigger's awesome, everything about CZ ergos that people now know. They're extremely popular handguns, but back then that was really when they were just starting to take off in the competitive scene. So that's number 5. Moving on to number 4, this is kind of if you know, you know gun with a sprinkle of hipster thrown in there, but this is my HK P7. This is sort of the barbecue gun. This is the fancy gun that, I take out very rarely, shoot very rarely, but it is just a piece of history and kind of a work of art. There really is some Kraut space magic in here. This gun I bought from a friend, and this has actually been worked over by James Williamson of HK fame. So I have full confidence in this gun because James rebuilt it. It's a really cool gun. It's a single stack 9mm. It's kind of dated in terms of modern carry guns. Sorry, HK guys, and I'm one of you, but I only carry this gun on very rare occasions, and it's just it's fun. But it is the number 4 slot because if you've never shot a P7, it really is a cool experience. So from very obscure to extremely common, number 3 is my Ruger Mark IV. This thing has a Silencer Co. Spectre 2 on it. Basically permanently stays suppressed because that's the point of this gun. This is by far my go-to handgun when I'm introducing new shooters, whether they're young folks or older people, maybe people who are recoil or noise sensitive, people who just aren't used to being around handguns. This is the go-to gun as it's a suppressed 22, so no recoil, very little noise, and it's just a great gun. The Mark IV specifically, you can actually take this thing apart. There's a button there that you just press. I know some of you guys have been taking apart Mark IIIs and you can do it blindfolded with both hands tied behind your back, but it's kind of a pain, and Ruger just solved that. So I think the Mark IV is the way to go. Great trigger, great support for optics and whatnot. The Burris isn't, it's not a great optic, but it works for a 22. And again, I've had this set up for probably a decade now. This was one of the first Mark IV models that they offered, and it's just a great gun for newbies, and for experienced shooters too. It's just really fun to plink quietly, not bother anyone, and work on your marksmanship skills. So that's why it's number 3. Moving on to number 2, let's just say it's the 2011. So here I have my Staccato XL and my Stealth Arms Platypus. They're sort of both number 2. The jury's still out on which one I like better. I think to me, they have different competitive roles. Because the Platypus takes Glock mags, it means I can shoot 2-gun with my PCC that also takes Glock mags and really simplify the logistics. However, if I'm shooting an AR or an AK or something, the Staccato works just fine. I have way more rounds on the Staccato, so right now I would say I'm more comfortable with that gun, but time will tell. The 2011 is just sort of the default now, I think, in the competition scene. Of course, open guns have been based on 2011s for decades, and now with the limited optics division, people are buying these sort of slide-righted optics guns and running them. And so they're very, very popular. Many companies make them. Just everything you want in a handgun, you're going to find in a 2011. Good capacity, good triggers, good safeties, ability to mount lights, optics, holster compatibility. It's everything you want in certainly a home defense gun, but in this case, it's competition that I'm thinking of. They're just great all-around guns. They're on the expensive side, but as more companies start make these, the price is really going to come down, and you can already get some of these guns. They're becoming more affordable every day, really. So that's kind of cool. On to number 1. It can't be anything other than the Silencer Co. Maxim 9. In my opinion, this is the coolest handgun ever made. I think Silencer Co. actually stopped making them now. This is a very, very early model. It was in the very first batch that came out, so I've had this gun for a very long time. Thousands and thousands of rounds through the gun. No major issues. Cleaning the suppressor can be a little bit of a pain, but because the baffles are aluminum, so you got to be careful. But if you take a little bit of care and use the right solvents and chemicals, you'll be all right. Takes Glock mags, so yep, problem solved there. And it's just so unique, and so yeah, it's unique, right? The trigger's not great. Kind of feels like a high-end stapler, but you've probably felt worse. Comes with a it comes with a plate system, so it's easy to mount whatever optic you want. This is actually in the short configuration. There's another baffle you can add on it to make it longer, but every now and then I actually use this guy in 2-gun in a competitive setting, so I usually just keep it in the short configuration so that it's easier to draw from the holster. Holster? Yep, I do have a couple holsters for this thing. It is extremely unwieldy, but it's fun. Every now and then, if you're just hanging out with your buddies, shooting a game at 2-gun, it's fun. It's fun to use. With 147 grain subsonics, it's pretty quiet, actually. And it's still way shorter than a traditional handgun with a traditional baffled suppressor on the end of it. You'll notice I don't have a rear sight. Didn't need it. It actually just kind of kept getting in the way and getting snagged on things because it was a really tall rear sight to match the front sight, so I just pulled it. Again, this is really just a screwing around gun, taking it to the range, showing it off to your buddies, so I can change the battery on my red dot whenever I want. Not using it for anything super serious. So those are my top 5 handguns. Let me know what you think. So they really run the gamut of, there's sort of a heavy dose of competition here, but there's some practicality and fun in the Ruger, and there's just some, the barbecue, the nice fancy gun you only bring out in certain occasions with the P7. So let me know what you think. What are your favorite handguns? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you.